Right guys, welcome back to another video with me, Kevin Does, and we're back with Scottish football this week. It's the series that's taken us in to FIFA 22, which is now out this month, which is brilliant to hear. Hopefully better than FIFA 21, but more importantly, back on the Scottish football this week. We will be starting with the transfers, then the weekend's results, and then on to my international break predictions. So let's start with all the deals from deadline day. That's the only transfers we're going to do. Or we'd be here for ages and end up becoming a single person podcast. So let's start. Aberdeen made no deals on transfer deadline day. Then we move on to Celtic. Free in and free out. João Jota joins on loan with an option to buy for 6.4 million, apparently maybe 6.5. He joins on loan from Benfica. Seen a lot of their fans complaining. Apparently they want him starting over the winger Everton. So it could be a huge deal for Celtic. Then they made a last minute signing at the very end of the window. It looked like it fell through a couple of hours before. Cameron Carter-Vickers joins Celtic, helping the centre-back depth. And Celtic sign the Eredivisie top scorer, Giku Makas. I think I've pronounced that wrong. You kind of guess who I mean. We'll call him Georgios. I know that's his first name. We'll call him Georgios. The last Greek striker called Georgios. He was fantastic, so hopefully he's as good as him. Actually, hopefully he's better than him. The free out though, Griffiths leaves, Christie leaves, and Edouard all leaving the same day. Mental. Christie leaves for such a small fee, but his contract does run out in January, so any money's better than nothing. Edouard, his contract runs out at the end of the season, so still apparently getting 14 mil up front, and it increases over time to 18.5 million. Good money for a player with a year left. And Griffiths, controversial summer, you know, it was expected, and now he's back to his old club, Dundee. Whilst talking about Dundee, that takes us on to the next club. Dundee made only one change in and out, and that was Griffiths coming in, getting the number 29 shirt as he returns back to his old club. Now let's go over the road from Dundee. It's Dundee United. One in and one out. It's in that left back position. Robson left to Lincoln earlier in the day just for McMahon. I'm thinking about a different player because I've got my notes here. McMahon joins from Hamilton Academical to Dundee United. It's a good bit of business. You know, I don't know exactly what the fee is. I just know it's 6 figures. You know, he recently scored the goal against Rangers. I don't really know much else about him, but I'll watch him when Celtic or Rangers or whenever they're on Sky, really. And then we move on to one of the Edinburgh clubs. It's Hearts. It's one in and one out here as well, as Devlin comes in, but Popescu goes on loan to Hamilton. Now over the other side of Edinburgh, it's Hibernian, and it's 2 ins, no outs. We could have seen 2 outs though if we speak about this rumour here quickly. McGrath was rumoured to come in, but apparently they left it too late, with Dre Wright and Scott Allen being offered in the other direction. Would have been interesting to see if that would have happened. We'll see January, I suppose. But David Mitchell and Nathan Wood came in on deadline day to strengthen the squad. You know, fair enough, Hibs. We go on to Livingston. Nothing happened in Livingston on transfer deadline day. They had it all done earlier in the window. We move on to Motherwell, Twitter's favourite Scottish club, and she is fine once again. There was 2 ins here. Solom Johansson joins the side, as well as Jordan Roberts joining from Hearts on loan. There was no outings though. On to Ross County, it's 1 in, 1 out. Samuel in, and Ollie Shaw is out. I think he ended up going into Kilmarnock in the end. Then we move on to St Johnstone. This is where I made the mistake earlier when we come to this bit. We've seen Kerr and McCann both leave the double winning St Johnstone side of last season for a combined 1.5 million. With McCann joining Preston for a rumoured 1 million, and the captain Kerr, who even scored against Galatasaray in Europe, left for 500k to Wigan Athletic. Mental, great signings for the 2 English clubs, but mental how cheap they've lost 2 great players. And especially they're both still so young, you know. McCann represents his national team, and Kerr should probably be about the mix for the Scotland squad, so Yeah. But now on to the ends for St Johnstone. We've seen Ali Crawford come back to Scotland, famously known for his time at Hamilton, where he scored some fantastic goals. We had Vertanen also join. We also had Cammy McPherson join on loan from St Mirren, as well as Losden Dunkirk joining from Brighton on loan. So, 2 ins, but I mean 2 outs, but we have a good couple ins, 5 new players, but 2 out. And now on to St Mirren, it's 1 in and 1 out here. Connor Rowan joins on loan from Wolves. And of course, I've just mentioned Cammy McPherson has joined St Johnstone. On to Rangers, it was only 2 players leaving on deadline day for them, as Itten and Cattett both left the club on the final day of the window. And that's it all for deadline day. Sorry I made a few mistakes with those names. None of them are the most simplest names to pronounce in that. So sorry. But now we move on to the weekend's results. We're going to start with Saturday. We'll make our way on to Sunday and an international break. So on Saturday, Dundee United hosted Hearts, and Hearts continue the great run to the start of the season, beating them 2-0. It's interesting. I thought Hearts would do well when they came back, but I didn't think they'd actually do this well. I thought they'd be like mid-table-ish. I think they will be end of the season though, but I wasn't expecting them to start this well. I thought they'd end the season well. But then, the next result, we've seen Hibs beat Livingston 2-0 at Easter Road. It's another team with a great start to the season, and Martin Boyle is on fire so far this campaign. 4 goals and 4, I believe. Brilliant from the star man that's playing on the right. And then Motherwell hosted Dundee, beating them 1-0. Then we on to Sunday's fixtures. Aberdeen won, Ross County won. Ross County took the lead just for Aberdeen to come back and rescue a point, big point in the scheme of things when it comes to later in the season. St Mirren hosted St Johnstone, and it was a 0-0 game at St Mirren. And the biggest game of the weekend, it's the Glasgow Derby. Rangers hosted Celtic. Celtic dominated the first half and majority of the game, but just couldn't put the ball in the net. It was another set piece causing Celtic issues, just another issue here from set pieces. It's a corner, it's in, Rangers score, and Rangers get the 3 points, big 3 points for the Glasgow Blues side. And on to the international break. It's the gameplay you're seeing in the background, It's the Denmark game, it's the Moldova game. That's what we've got coming up. And I see Denmark beating Scotland. I hate to say it, but I don't see them pummeling us. I just see it being like 2-1. But I was thinking 1-1, but then I seen it's actually in Denmark. I meant 2-1, 2-1 Denmark, I think. But I think we'll get a big win over Moldova though. I think 3-1 is a reasonable scoreline. I think we can beat them quite easily. But yeah, there is another thing I'd like to talk about though to end off the video. We've been quite happy toned in the way that we've been. There's a lot of ins and outs. We've been talking about transfers, we've been talking about weekend's results, we've been talking about predictions. I'd like to speak on the matter that happened around the biggest game of the weekend. Some of the abuse and the racism around the game has been utterly shocking from both sides. It started with a large group of so-called Rangers fans, I don't even think they should be even labelled as fans personally, abusing a minority, maybe not a minority, but a certain group of people, and they were making that loud and clear, from the Asians to the Irish to the Catholics. It was brutal. And then some stupid people that are apparently Celtic supporters trying to come back and make stuff like racist remarks towards players like Morelos and Kamara. It is utterly disgusting. And then you had the stupid statement from Police Scotland that didn't even label it as racism at first. Hopefully someone's done. It's probably might have been someone done by the time this video was released, but disappointing with some of this stuff. I've not kept up too much today, so something could already be done whilst I'm recording this video, but I just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Sorry I've ended this on such a low tone. Goodbye.